Okay. Hari Om, welcome to all. Second day of Sukshma Vyam Yoga, Saral Yoga. And over to you, Vasuji, our Acharya for the day.
Thank you, Nutanji. And also thank you, Mr. Sanjeevji. Okay. A very warm welcome to all of you. Hari Om, good morning, Suprabhat. Yes. Okay. Now we are on the second day of our journey towards great health. Okay. Now what we'll do is, we'll start from where we started yesterday. And as we come to the portion of the body where we have not gone in detail, there I will start with the explanation. Till then, I will more or less take you through what all we have done yesterday. So we will get a nice recap and that will help you. Okay. First, we do the Ucharana Shakti and the prayer, and then we start our session. Okay. Now, here with your thumb, you are touching your throat and this is cleansing of the throat, prarthana, prayer. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amrutam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. That was the meaning of the shloka. Good morning. A warm welcome to all of you once again. Now we start with the Dhriti Shakti Vikasaka, which is basically we are starting from the head. So Dhriti Shakti means enhancement of your willpower, and you connect to the back portion of your brain. So standing straight in the whole set of exercise, what we are doing is feet together, hands clasped on your thigh. Ensure that there is no gap between your hands and your body. You're standing straight and tight. And here you're just lifting your neck back and focusing on the back portion of your brain, where I said that there's an important gland, hypothalamus gland. Now you're connecting to that portion of the brain and you're visualizing the enhancement of your willpower in life, which means anything you decide, you are able to achieve. Come what may be the obstacles, but you're able to overcross them and you're able to achieve. That is the purpose of this exercise. Three things: GEC, gratitude; E, enhancement, visualization; and C, connecting your breath, which is the prana, to that portion of the organ or the part of the body on which you are now exercising. Now, I must tell you, this entire process is based on these three principles, which is a mind game. You are actually now upgrading your entire software, and the body listens to the mind. So once the mind software is upgraded, then automatically the body is also upgraded in terms of its strength, vigor, and energy. And as we all know, most of the diseases, they say about 70% plus diseases are called as psychosomatic diseases. And the Harvard University says, what is psychosomatic? The mental factors which cause physical symptoms, but there is no physical disease, actually speaking. See how it is. For example, you have, say, chest pain. Uh, Now, the chest pain is caused by stress, which is in the mind, but actually, there is no physical disease. And because of the chest pain, so many kinds of treatment are going on. So, this is a psychosomatic disease. So, what we have to do is we have to work on the mind. There is a beautiful real-time story. After the session, I'll share the video with you. It has zapped the medical science as such till date. This is about one Mr. Norman Cousins. See, why I'm telling you is this is very important because we should know the importance of what we're doing. Norman Cousins, he was a senior professor in the University of California, Los Angeles. This is about somewhere in the 1960s. He was a senior professor in medicine. Now, he was struck with ankylosing spondylitis, a disease where a very dear friend of his who was a doctor, he was treating him. He told him, Norman, now, what I can see is your body generation of cells is getting degenerated and you have no much hope in life. You have to either sit or keep lying on the bed all your life. And that too, he says, your days are not much in life. You have a few months, so I would suggest whatever you want, you should be doing that. Now, Norman Cousins, he came up with an idea. He said, he spoke to his doctor friend, he says, do negative emotions cause destructive hormones in our body? The doctor said yes. Then, which means positive emotions also should generate positive hormones in my body? The doctor said yes. So then he said, fine. Now I'm going to work on my mind using the laughter therapy and also constantly infusing positivity in my mind about my body. I'm not going to think about what you have told me that your days are numbered and you're never going to get well. That is what you told me. I'm not going to think about that. I'm going to infuse positivity in my mind. And using laughter therapy and some physical movements of the body, I'm going to work on those lines. And then he started that. Eventually, he leaves the hospital because he had bought a projector in the hospital and he was viewing comedy movies in the hospital, which was a nuisance to the hospital. Then he moves to a hotel. Even there also there was a nuisance. So he leaves that place. Then he says, now I'll be on my own. Now imagine this gentleman. He lived for more than 18 years after he was diagnosed on these lines, hale and hearty, recovering day by day, month on month, year on year. He started recovering. And he gives the entire credit to the positive emotions which one creates in one's mind and the beautiful connection of the body and mind. He has written a book known as Anatomy of Illness. And thereafter, after this disease where he was almost like where doctors had given hope on him, post that he worked in his life and he got about 50 honorary doctorates. And he also won the prize for UN Peace Medal. So what I'm trying to say is, now science and what a doctor who is his very close friend, he eventually says, I'm not able to believe, was my diagnosis wrong, or was this what I call as the psychosomatic disease? I'm not able to understand. That is what even the doctor mentioned eventually. So we have to give importance that this works. It really works on us. So connect yourself to the body. Give that word of encouragement and say, now you're getting better. For that reason, I told you this story. Then we'll see as we move forward what Lord Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita. We'll see to that. and some more interesting factors. Okay, now we move with the, remember the three principles, GEC, and let's do it with a full connect. Now 45 minutes, what you're going to do is, you are going to make each and every cell in your body awaken and rejoice. And you're going to tell yourself all positive things about yourself. Don't say, I have this pain, I have that pain. Think that everything is going, whatever you have, you're getting stronger and stronger within. And once you're stronger within, naturally you're stronger outside. Okay, there we go. Triti Shakti Vikasaka, head back. Now you're breathing through the nose. Rapid breathing, as fast as you can. 10, 20 is the count which you should be doing. Okay. Next, Smarana Shakti, focus on the crown of your head where you have the Brahmara Randhra, the Sushumna Nadi. Now we are also talking about the chakras. You are enlivening and strengthening the chakras. Okay. Now we have activated the Sushumna Nadi, the Sahasrara Chakra and the pineal gland, hypothalamus, pineal. Now we come to the forefront, which is the Medha Shakti. This one is memory. Now we come to Medha. Medha Shakti is where your intelligence power is increasing. Your decision-making capacity is increasing. So touch your chin to your chest or as far as you can go. And in the same way, rapid breaths, 10 to 20. And as you are able to do, you can even do more. Okay. Gradually be seeing that your breath is going deeper and deeper. So work towards it. Where there are some nasal blockages, which normally is the case, so you need not worry. It will slowly, the intensity of your breath will increase. So you have to just give some time. Okay. Now here what happened, Medha Shakti, where your decision making, meaning there is no more confusion. Whatever be the amount of options I have in life, I'm able to pick up the right option. And after having taken a decision, I am not again thinking, was that right or was it wrong? So this is the power which we are awakened now in ourselves. So you have to visualize that while you're doing this. Now after the Medha Shakti, now we come to the eyes. Standing straight, feet together. Now in the whole course of exercise, your feet are together and your body is balanced. Now what happens with this? There is increase in the muscle power. And also there is a fine skeletal alignment which happens with your body. Now with these two things, automatically whatever pressure is there on your joints, the wrong pressure, that is set off, OFF. It is set off and you will, that is an indirect way where you will start regaining on all the joint pains. Now, Netra Shakti, look left and right. Don't turn your head, keep your head straight and firm. Only roll your eyeballs. When you go to the extreme, try to push a little better and be better than yesterday. Now up and down. I would recommend to do at least 7 to 10 minutes, maybe twice a day, 5 minutes each. But the eyes are the most used and abused sense organ of your body. We need to take utmost care of your eyes. So here we're just trying to show you what to do. We're not doing the full course. Now, crossways. Look diagonal. the other side, diagonal, slowly and steadily. Now rotate. Now when you rotate, just don't keep going in circles. When you come to the top, come back clockwise and anti-clockwise. So this needs a great effort where you're putting on the muscles of the entire neuromuscular system of the eyes. Very effective exercise. It not only enhances your vision capabilities, but also it gives you a spark in your eyes. Okay. Next, look at your right shoulder and your left shoulder without turning your head. Every exercise has to be done with care and love. Gently. Don't push yourself too much. What you cannot do, please don't do. As you get healthier, you'll be able to do all the exercises. Now, focus on a distant object. Look at the details and look at your finger and the distant object. You can blink. Okay. Now take the index finger, raise it above your head to such a position that you roll your eyeballs up. Stare at the index finger tip. Without blinking, stare. Let your eyes pain, let it water. Now this is an extreme exercise for your eyes. Improves your focus and concentration to a great extent. For those who are meditating, it's advised to do this small exercise before you meditate. You will see a change in your concentration levels. Stare as much as you can. And then close your eyes. Now let's do the relaxation. Keep blinking. Rapid blinking. Okay. Now we come to the face, Kapola Shakti. See, now I'll just tell the theory part. You're breathing in through your mouth by forming a funnel, a pout like this. If you cannot, you have to just inhale. So here the purpose is you're inhaling deeply with your mouth and you're exhaling. When you come up, you're exhaling with your nose. Okay. With the thumb, close both your nostrils. Slowly as you go up, inhale. Release your nostrils and come up. Now when you're down, you are closing your mouth and your nose and you're pushing all the air into your face. This is to be done about 6 to 8 times. You can even do it during the day whenever you feel that you're not feeling fresh. So that time you can do this 6 to 8 times. Repeat. A fantastic facial massage. It not only chisels your face, it burns the excess fat in your face, gives you a natural look, brings a glow on your skin, and throws away all the toxins, so you'll not have problems of the acne, pimples, and boils on your face. Once again. The longer you hold, the more is the impact. Now we come to the ears. As I mentioned, your defense mechanism, the lymphatic system, the first level of defense or your army is around your ears. So we massage the ears by pulling it up and down, pulling it forward and backward, rotate, reverse, gently and lovingly. Now place your palm on your ears and repeat the same exercise. Forward, backward, rotate, reverse. Now Karna Shakti. With your thumb, you're plugging in your ears. With the ring finger, you're closing your nostrils. These two are on your eyes. Don't press your eyes. Just place them on your eyes. And forming a pout, breathe in and repeat the same way as you did the face exercise, 6 to 8 times. Breathe in through the mouth, breathe out through the nose. There we are. Now we finished our ears. Now today, this is what we have done till yesterday. Now we talk of the neck. Now, neck as you can see is the fine connect between your head and the entire body. A beautiful neckline and a strong neckline makes a big difference in your appearance. So here what we should be doing is we should be strengthening the entire neck by these simple exercises. Most of these exercises you all know, but there is one special exercise in Sukshma Vyayam which does a big difference to you. A little humor here. The man of the husband, when he were with his friends and his family, they speak about, I'm the head of the family. The husband was saying. Now the wife is clever, smart. She says, because everybody asks her, if he's the head of the family, then what are you? Then the wife says, I can control the head of the family. I can twist it in whatever way I want. So that is, she says, I'm the neck. So you may be the head, but I am the neck. So that way, the neck is of utmost importance. Right and left, slowly and steadily. front and back. You can do each movement about 4 to 6 times. Do it lovingly, carefully, gently. Once you have a beautiful neck, it enhances the value of all the jewelry one has. There's no point in having a fat neck and you wear the most expensive jewelry. It will never look nice on your neck. So focus on your neck and then enhance the value of your jewelry, what you already possess. Now, rotate clockwise. When you come in the front, go back, reverse. And ensure that you touch your chin to the chest, rub it along your shoulder and go back. Initially, you may not get it because of the fat on your neck. If you get it well and good, keep churning. You'll be able to listen to those nice creaky voices, which means your fat is burning there. The muscles are getting squeezed and strengthened. Normal breathing through your nose. Okay. Now sideways. Gently. Okay. Now the special exercise what we're going to do here is, observe me. You're going to take your shoulders back and push your neck forward this way. So which is done with the pranayam. And when you come up, you are holding your breath. You release the breath from the bottom of your throat with a coarse sound. These are the thyroid and the parathyroid glands which are here. Now, these are very important glands for your metabolism, for your blood pressure, and for the production of insulin. So, this particular parathyroid glands you're strengthening now. Observe how I do it. You're breathing in. You're coming up, you're holding your breath, and then you release the breath from the bottom of your throat through your nose with a coarse voice, which means you're shaking the entire thyroid glands here. Now, observe me. There is entire pressure on your thyroid glands. I'll show you from the sides. This has to be done about 2 to 3 times. Coughing is a very natural phenomena. Please don't get disturbed by that. If you have coughed, meaning you have done it well. Once again. So remember, the head is the king and the neck is the throne. So here, any kind of problems with respect to stiff necks, cervical spondylitis, laryngitis, pharyngitis, all these problems are caused by the, are eradicated by these simple exercises. So now we are done with the Griva Shakti. Now remember, we activated the fourth gland, the hypothalamus, the pineal, pituitary gland, and then we now worked on our thyroid and parathyroid glands. Now the fourth gland is done. Now we come to the next level, which is of our body, is the arms and shoulders. Skanda tata bahu shakti vikasaka. Shakti means power, vikasaka means enhancement. So the name is given on those lines. Now here we have the second line of soldiers in our defense mechanism to fight all the viruses and the bacteria entering the body. Now we are cheering them up. Simple exercises to strengthen your shoulders and also to strengthen your arms and derive strength in your arms and shoulders. Okay, now thumb in, fist closed. what you have to do is you have to raise your shoulders up and down. Let's try this first. This is stage 1. Then I will show you with the breathing pattern how you do it. Okay. You have to do it rigorously, but I'm just telling you the moment. Lock your elbow so that if you get a play, then the shoulder won't go up. So push your hands down, take it up and down this way. Now, those of you can go to the next level. Please join me. After having done this, what we do is the same way, thumb in, fist closed, locking your elbows by pushing your hands down. Now we breathe in, hold, and in that position, we raise our shoulder this way. Breathe into your mouth, breathe out through the nose. Once again. If you're not getting this movement well, please don't go to the with pranayama. What you do is just keep getting this movement first, and then you can go to the next level in the days to come. Once again, breathe in through the mouth, forming a funnel. Okay. Now we are activating the soldiers here. They are cheering up already. Right. Now here another important bandh happens, which is known as the Jalandhar bandh. We are going to have totally 3 major bandhs in our body. Jalandhar bandh, and when we come to the abdomen, we are going to do Uddiyana bandh, and then as we go lower to the groin, we are going to do Mooladhara bandh. Okay. So the first bandh has already happened. I will talk about it more in the next course. Now we go to the next exercise. Place your fingers on your shoulders and touching both your elbows, rubbing your ears, go back. Breathe in as you go back and breathe out as you come forward. See, everywhere the breathing technique is very important. As we all know, breathing is an involuntary function of the body. It doesn't ask you, should I breathe, should I not breathe, how much should I breathe? It doesn't ask you. It keeps doing. But now in this entire 45 minutes to 1 hour, what we do is, we have made it a voluntary function. We are controlling the breath the way we want. Okay, now I'll do it fast. Breathe in when you go up and breathe out when you come down. Now reverse, 6 to 8 times each moment. Okay, now full arms, thumb in, fist closed. And now you have to rotate your arms completely. So as you go up, you should be able to touch both the fists together and go back this way. If you're not able to bring both the arms together, if you're able to do only this way, then I would suggest take one arm. Imagine there is a circle next to you, a ring, and go in that position, trying to get a full circumference so that this will strengthen your entire shoulder joint. Okay, you can practice one hand together, then the next arm, then reverse. Okay. Now the actual way is doing both arms together, and here you're creating a bandh again, where you breathe in, a quick short breath, hold, and you rotate. And what you do when you can't further hold, you punch and you breathe out. Okay. Now this is the way. I've told you the stages also how you can move forward. So slowly you try to come to the ultimate position, which I'm going to show now. A quick short breath through your nose, hold, and rotate. At your shoulder level, punch and breathe out through the nose. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the nose. Rotations about, you can do up to 20, even more also, till the time you can hold your breath. Now let's do that same thing, reverse. Quick short breath, hold, and do the reverse rotation. Now, reverse namaskar. Breathe in when you go up. Breathe out when you come down. Just a simple arm raising. Now, this particular exercise, whoever have suffered from COVID infection, to regain their lung capacity, all these exercises, especially this one, what we did, is a very excellent exercise. You can tell your friends. Just to keep doing this exercise. It will strengthen your lung capacity. Your oxygen inhalation performance levels will increase. Okay. Now, bringing your arm forward and backward. You're swinging this way. But when the arms come to your thigh level, immediately you have to raise it back. You should not take it back. If you take it back, then it is a sway. The momentum gives you that ease and you will not be able to get strength on your arm. So as you come down, immediately raise it. Breathe in, breathe out through your nose. Keep connecting to every part of your body with that gratitude to Mother Nature, Lord Dhanvantari and Almighty, who has given us this great opportunity to learn this treasured Sanjeevani Sukshma Vyayam Yoga. So we should ever be grateful, and we need the willpower to keep up with this and enhance our health and prosperity. Okay, next. Keeping on your hands on your sides, breathe in through your nose and hit back about 6 to 8 times. Okay. Now we come to the next exercise. Place your elbows next to your waist, parallel to each other, not this way nor this way, parallel. And now we are going to breathe in and hit forward at the shoulder level, where your arms are parallel again to each other and to the ground. The movement is this: breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the nose. Okay. Once again. Now this has to be done rigorously, as rigorously as you can. Okay. 10 to 20 times. Yeah. Okay. Now, remember, at your shoulder level, parallel to each other and parallel to the ground. Breathe in, breathe out. Don't worry, it will come. They may sound a little difficult, but you will gradually get it. I'll take you through, don't worry. Okay. Next. Now what you're going to do is, you're going to take a quick short breath through your nose, hold, and create a tremendous resistance on your arms. And imagine that there is a weight which you are beyond your capacity to lift, and you're trying to lift it. Okay. This is to strengthen your muscles and your arms. A quick short breath through your nose, hold, and lift. And as you come up, you breathe out. Got it? Your entire arm is tightened with this. This is nothing but weightlifting. You have done a virtual weightlifting over here. About 6 times. Now palm open, fingers together. Same way. Breathe in through the nose, hold and lift. And as you come up, breathe out. It's up to you how much strength you want. You can create that much pressure in your arms. Now fingers apart, stretch them as much as you can, widen them. A quick short breath, hold and lift. Wonderful. Now we come to exercise for your wrist. Now imagine out of the 360 bones which we have, joints in our body, 360 joints, 70 are in your hand. Okay. So you can imagine that how many joints are here. You're strengthening all the joints. Just movement. Thumb in, fist closed, up and down. Manibandha Shakti Vikasaka. Manibandha means wrist. Up and down. Simple. Parallel to each other at your shoulder level, parallel to the ground as well. Up and down, up and down. Sideways. Now palm open, fingers together. The same variation. Flat. Sideways. Now fingers apart, third variation. Stretch them as much as you can. Stretch them apart. You'll see different muscles, different nerves getting activated while you're doing these exercises. That's the reason these variations are there. Wonderful. Now we come to the fingers. We go up to the tip of our finger. When I say 70 joints are there in the hands, 60 joints are there from the wrist to the end of your finger. 60. So when arthritis strikes, maximum pain you start getting in your wrist, in your knuckles, in your fingers. So we are going to get rid of that now. What you're doing, just shake rigorously. Okay. Now, let your fingers loose. Let them lie loose. Focus on the tip of each and every finger. Feel the tingling sensation. Close your eyes. Feel the tingling sensation. And experience that one by one. Now, this is a great antidote for Parkinson's, dementia, all these, and even paralysis, nervous disorders. So this brings in a great coordination between your neuro and muscular system. Focus on the tip of each and every finger. You may not be able to experience all the 10 fingers at one go. Slowly, as you keep shaking rigorously, you'll start experiencing it. And that shows your nervous and your muscular system is in control. Now, sideways. Wonderful. Now, the next exercise, imagine there is something stuck to the wall. You're forming a claw and you're pulling it from the wall. This is done with the breath control again. Breathe in and pull. Take your arms back. Four to six times. Breathe in through the nose as deep as you can and breathe out through the nose. Now, sideways. Something is stuck here, you're now pulling it sideways. There you are. So what does these exercises, what we did now, help you? One is, if you have any tennis elbow or any arthritic problems in your hands, frozen shoulders, all this will go away gradually. It strengthens your shoulders, opens up your blades, your bones, and it strengthens the entire muscles around this place. It gives you enormous strength. If you are with difficulty able to lift a bucket of water, now you'll easily lift one and you'll say, okay, give me another one, I have this strength. And if you're kneading dough in your home, now that your fingers are strong, any amount you can easily knead. They're also good for people who are continuously on the laptops or computers, for artists who have this nice finger work, for people who write, and then artisans. Of course, we do not know of many who are doing that, who are continuously making sculptures where there are the job of the fingers. Even for surgeons, this is good because you have perfect control on your fingers. This is the power of all these exercises. Okay, now we are done. As you can see, after our neck, we did our shoulder and we did our arms till the tip of the fingers. Now, as you can see, the next portion is the Vakshasthala, the chest, the hardcore pranayama exercises. Very simple. First, let's prepare. What we're going to do is, we are going to inhale and bend backwards, breathing in. I'll show you again in detail. And you come back, breathing out through the nose entirely. 3 times. What you have to do is, take a deep breath, open your chest and bend backwards. At your own comfort, don't push too hard. Sideways. Got it? Now, this is the physical aspect. Mental aspect is, you are invoking all the positivity from the cosmos, from the universe. You are telling me, give me this. What you have in mind, all that positivity. See, there is one wrong understanding which we all have. Even when asking or aspiring, we don't know. The moment we get an inspiration to do something, what we focus on is, when will I get, how will I get, when will I get, how will I get. Don't focus on that. That is to the universe, when and how to give you. What you have to focus is what you want. And with what you want, what you will do. That's all. These 2 things. I want good health, let's say. I want good health and I want to live without pain. What you will do with that? I want to live without any sort of physical pain, mental pain, or a financial pain because of my bad health. So what you want and what you're going to do with what you want. These are the 2 things. Let's focus. When and how we get it, it's to the universe. So when you breathe in and bend backwards, ask that one thing what you want. Different days you can ask differently, but I'm just telling you, okay, breathe in and invoke positivity and bend backwards. And as you come up, breathe out. You can ask for anything. I want mental peace. I want financial gain or strength. I want health. I want compassion. I want kindness. I want generosity. Okay. Now the next variation is, you have to roll back your shoulders. From wherever you are, just roll back. And with your fingers, try moving towards your calf muscles. There's a variation in this. Roll back. Neck back. As far as your breath is concerned, inhale through your nose, hold your breath, and slowly go down. A fantastic exercise for your spine and your back. Now with all these exercises, now we're going to, what we're doing, these chest exercises, we are strengthening the para muscles of all the direct muscles of the back. If anybody has a back issue, by doing these exercises, you are strengthening your back as well and your spine. Okay. Now once again, breathe in, hold, and go back. Okay. Now we are prepared for doing the next level of exercises. There are 5 variations, which is hardcore breathing. Entirely you are doing through your nose. Breathe in and breathe out. Counts recommended are 10 to 20 in each and every position of your body. If anybody is feeling dizzy or giddy, I would recommend you stop doing this particular pattern of breathing and just keep normal breathing. And if you want, sit down for a while. Now our brain and system is used to a certain amount of intake of oxygen. Now with this, you're enhancing the amount of intake to such a great level, so the brain can say, cut off, I'm not able to take anything more. So it will cause that giddiness for you. So you measure your own comfort and do this. Now what do we do? How do we breathe here? You are focusing on the breathe out, a forceful breathe out, and then you slowly inhale up to the bottom of your abdomen, and again from the bottom of your abdomen, you're pushing your breath out. As simple as this. Now, hands clasped to your body, on your thighs. You're getting it? So the first level is with your neck back. Let's do, please do with me. Neck back, a forceful breathe out, and a slow breathe in, and again a forceful breathe out. 10 to 20 times, all through the nose. Your eyes are gently closed and forceful breathing, focusing, breathe out. Okay, next. This is one position where the head is back. Next is looking straight. Continue. Keep your eyes gently closed for better comfort. Now the third variation is tilt your head as though you're looking 5 feet forward. You should not bend forward. Keep your body straight, your back straight. Very good. Now, we are going to do one Shitali, which will, now our body is extremely warm by this rapid breathing. We cool down the body. For that, form a pot this way and slowly inhale air through the, going through the tongue. So the moisture on your tongue and the air which goes in sends a cool wave of air into your body. You're going up this way. Then you close your mouth, pushing the air into your face, you come down, touching your chin to the chest, There is again, you're doing the Jalandhar Bandh. You're holding for some time. Then after that again, coming up out, you slowly take in air. This is done even by the animals. They don't have any facility of an AC or a fan. So whenever they feel very warm in the open, wherever they are, they do this Shitali. Natural process of cooling down your body. We can also do it whenever we feel extremely warm and we don't have any facility to cool down ourselves. Breathe out through the nose as you come up. Once again. Okay. So now, after this, there is the fourth and fifth variation, which I'll just show you the positions and we'll take it up in the detailed explanation tomorrow, where you have to bend at a 60-degree, hands on your shoulder, on your, waist, this way. And you have to repeat that exercise this way. Then next one is, you have to bend 90 degrees parallel to the ground. And do the breathing. So with that, we'll be able to complete the Vakshasthala. Now, what are the benefits of this particular pranayam, what we did? It produces a huge amount of nitric oxide, which is a great antidote for all the invasion, killing the foreign bodies which come into our system. So that is one, nitric oxide. And second is, there is heavy generation of saliva. And remember, there have been recently tests done on this saliva. This kind of a saliva which is generated by chanting of holy mantras, even Om for that matter, and by this pranayam, it has about 22 proteins, which as you grow older, the degeneration happens. These proteins, they are produced less and it causes all the nervous nervous diseases, which are again the Parkinson, dementia, paralysis, all these kind of things. So this is an antidote for such kind of neuromuscular deficiencies. So we'll learn more about this tomorrow. Okay. Now I'll give you a thought for the day and then we'll say the Purnamada mantra. And post that we'll have the Q&A. Quote, difficult roads often lead to beautiful destinations. Unquote. In life, we may be undergoing a very difficult journey, but bear that in mind. When your journey is difficult, the more difficult it is, the more beautiful your destination is going to be. With that positive note, you move forward in life. So now, during the whole of the day, fill yourself with positive emotions. Don't think negative. Array, I can't remember. Array, I'm always late. I'm not able to lose weight. These are all negative emotions. I told you the reticular activating system, that works. It doesn't know poor thing. It thinks that, okay, bad memory is what you want. So you say, now I'm getting better. I don't know. I'm able to remember better. I'm able to be on time everywhere. So when you say such things, the reticular activating system, it only looks forward for things, how they can achieve what you have said. So there's known as self-talk, that is the affirmative talk. You have to keep talking positively all the day. It is better to be positive always and fail rather than you trying to be negative always and succeed. Yeah, so bear this in mind. And so with this positive note, we say the mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti. Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Thank you, one and all, for being with me on this wonderful journey. I thank Mrs. Nutan Bhalla. I thank Mr. Kumar Jaisinghani for bringing us together, who are the bridge in joining us together.